We are bombarded with information about weight loss programs, but my next guest and her business partner have created a program that leads moms, supports them towards a better lifestyle where weight loss is just a byproduct of the process. Stick around and you'll find out the wonderful things they have done for families. You'll learn some things about my personal journey too. Hi, we are with Doucky today. She's the co-founder of Become Fit Forever. Their handle is on social media is Working Moms Weight Loss. You guys are going to be able to find all this information under the video. So without further ado, I am going to introduce Doucky. Hi, Doucky.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
So tell us about your business and your method.
Okay, sure. I have this fitness and nutrition company where we have a signature program for working moms. We realized that in our own transformation, I was working first in advertising and in communication all my life. And then when I became a mom, I started gaining weight. And I was like, oh my God, this is supposed to be my body. So I have to embrace it. And I tried for some time until I felt that I didn't have energy to take care of my kid. Is when I started like, okay, something is wrong. Maybe I should start exercising because I felt heavy. I felt like a pain everywhere, no energy at all. I was in a bad mood all the time. So after my own transformation, learning how to eat better, exercising regularly, because I got passionate about the topic, I got certified as a fitness and nutrition coach. And after that, I said like I'm gonna follow my passion, and I have to teach other moms to go through this difficult time because it is very confusing. I don't know if it happened to you, that you become a mom and then you have this new body and all of these hormones, everything is crazy, and you don't know where to start because it's very overwhelming. Taking care of the kid, working, taking care of the house, and then you forget about yourself. So doing that alone was really difficult for me. And I was like, well, if I'm suffering all of these, other moms are suffering as well. So I want to help. That became like my purpose of life, helping moms go through this process without suffering as I did, right? So we found.
Yeah, if you want, I can share you my experience. I was so obsessed with my body and not gaining weight that I postponed to have a child for so long because
That is very common. You know what? It's very common. Yes.
I was so afraid that I'll be like a whale and I will never be able to come back to my prenatal weight. And that was such a loss to be so obsessed about my weight and to postpone being a mom for so long. And so what happened to me, actually I had my daughter and I couldn't have another child. Had I had a child earlier, probably I would have been able to have a second one.
Yeah.
But because of my misconceptions about weight, this is what happened. And surprisingly enough, I came back to my prenatal weight in 3 months. But it was just in my head.
It was the opposite for me because I was always a skinny person. So for me, it wasn't in my mind that I was going to gain weight. So for me, it was really shocking because I felt totally different. Like I was looking at the mirror to a totally different person. My face changed, my nose, everything. And people don't talk about that because now there is this movement that is about body positivity, and I'm all about that. But also when you have these kind of movements, you feel bad about yourself because you're feeling bad about yourself. You don't want to say that you're feeling bad about yourself. So we have to be real and say, yeah, like we have to love ourselves, but
Yes.
also when you see a different person in the mirror that you don't recognize and you don't feel like yourself, you should do something about it. And it's not about being big or skinny or any size. But I think that is a real thing, you know, like you don't feel comfortable where you're looking, and that doesn't mean that you are a superficial person or that you don't love yourself, you know?
Yes, yes. About a year ago, I went through this thing. Okay, I'm just not gonna care about what I eat so much and how much I weigh. And I said, well, let's see how I feel about myself. And actually, I did not feel comfortable. I didn't feel, didn't care as much how I look, but just didn't feel right. So I just felt the
Feeling.
need to,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Sometimes it's not even about how you look, it's about how you feel. It's like you don't feel yourself. Like I lost
yes,
my identity when I was looking at the mirror. Was like, who is this person? I didn't know even like how to wear, new clothes. I was like, how do I dress this new body? Because I wanted to embrace it. Like I wanted to do that. But on top of that, I was tired. I was in a bad mood. I didn't have energy. I was like I had gastritis. I couldn't sleep at night. So it was like all these things that it came, like it was a consequence of my bad habits. And I didn't realize it until I had my baby afterwards. Because before I was making like I was trying to remember with my husband how was our meals before having Camila, because I've been married for 18 years, like forever. And
yes.
we couldn't remember. That means that we didn't even plan our meals. We didn't even care about that. It was just about whatever I like, I just eat, but it didn't have any reasoning behind it. And the consequence was like we were sick, both of us. Both of us were sick and we were heavy and we didn't want to do anything. And I realized that that is not the life that I wanted to live. And I didn't want to show that to my child, because if I was sick, my husband was sick, whatever food or whatever thing that we were doing was wrong. And I didn't want that for my child. So I have to change first so my husband could change, and then my daughter didn't suffer what we were suffering, right? So it was like a cycle that doesn't
Yes.
have to be specifically because I was 35 pounds overweight by that time. That's for me that I'm so petite.
Yes, I know. I am also petite. I'm 5 feet 2. And when I gained, because last year I gained 4 pounds. And it's not like, like people were like, where? But I still felt it. I just felt it and I didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it's not about the number, it's about you. Yeah, when you are petite, even a small number of pounds, you feel it.
It's true, it's true. And everything changes around you, like your confidence, how you show up at work, how you don't want to miss any event because you feel at your best. But when you are like that, you don't want to go to the beach. You don't want to do a presentation because you think that people are gonna be looking at
Yeah.
you a certain way and you cannot be at your highest potential, like doing a presentation because you feel bad about yourself. You don't want to go to any event, you don't want to go shopping, like it's all these things that you are missing out because the way you feel and look. And
Mm.
that's why we founded Become Fit Forever, and that's why I changed my career completely.
So, what is your approach
So our
to weight loss?
approach, it is, first of all, it has to be easy because working moms have many things on their plate that they're looking easy and fast. We cannot give them, like many steps to follow because they're gonna quit. Like
Yeah.
it is true, like we want them to the self-care to be priority, but honestly, they have one or multiple kids, plus they work full time, plus they have the house, and now with this lockdown and the quarantine and all of that is everything, like some of them don't have any help, so it's like everything. Okay. But I'm so proud of them because despite of all the circumstances, they are looking for the solution. So they are looking for a solution to take care of themselves, so they know. So our approach is very easy. Like we have a 3 phase in our program. So first we build habits, step by step, every single week, they have a habit to change. And then after that, we teach them how to portion control their foods. It has been, we've been 4 years in business, and we have determined that the main thing and the struggle that they have is that they don't know their portions. They don't know how much protein, carbs, and fat they have to eat. So always there is this question: am I eating enough carbs, or am I eating too much carbs, or this is enough protein for me? Like, they are very lost about the portion control of each macronutrient. So we teach them, depending on their body type, how much you should be eating. So we don't believe in about restrictions. So we don't restrict any food group. It is about eating all the foods that you like, your favorite foods, but just learning how to portion control for your body, and for the weight loss, because it's not the same eating healthy as eating for weight loss, because that is
You
another
have to
thing
be,
you always have. So we make sure that they understand during the program that is, because that is the main thing that they say, like, but I'm eating healthy, so I don't know why I'm not losing weight. And
you have to be calorie deficient, right?
I totally believe them, because we're cooking at home, especially now in quarantine. But it's about the portion control for weight loss and body fat. That is what you want. So most of us are eating healthy, which is good, but then that is like the missing part, the missing piece of all the process. It's like learning how much you should be eating for your physical activity, your height, your weight, and your age. So we determine those portions, and we teach them in a very easy method how to do it.
Yeah. So for weight loss, you have to be calorie deficient, not only to eat healthy. And it's amazing that you are providing this in one-stop shop, because, for example, for me, it was a process over the years. For example, a few years ago, I discovered how eating carbs for breakfast affected my brain.
Yeah.
Like eating toast with
Water,
fruit
or yeah.
spread, yeah, in the morning, like literally threw me for a loop. And my mornings were sluggish, and that I discovered by accident, because we were eating like that, both my husband and I. And until I realized that was what was causing us to want to have coffee, to, I don't know, to struggle through the morning, was the amount of carbs we're
Just
eating.
like that little thing. And that is like the very interesting about this process, that people think, oh, I have to start eating healthy, or I have to start losing weight, and they feel that it's like this complex process, and it's easier than you think, especially if you just break it down in a step by step. It's just little details. Like, I have a client, she was suffering for migraine, and just drinking enough water for her body. She was like, I didn't even mention it to you, because of course we were talking about just weight loss and all these. And she's like, my migraine is gone. And it was just the fact of drinking enough water for her, because we do a calculation, like it's approximate for drinking water. And finally she was drinking enough water for her, and she was like, migraine is gone, I can't believe this. And it was just like, because weight loss, and I'm gonna be very sincere with you, I'm very honest. Weight loss is not just a single thing. It's just like the sum of very many things, that at the end, weight loss is going to be a byproduct, because all your hormones are going to be balanced. Sleeping enough hours, having an activity, like for stress management, moving more, eating more fiber and protein, and drinking water. So those little things, just if you repeat it every single day, the weight loss is going to happen. So weight loss is just a byproduct of all the actions that you do in a day. But somehow it's very difficult for us. And it's the basics. It is the basics, just to you don't know how hard for moms is to drink water. And it makes sense, because they're like running around, they're in a meeting, like in a Zoom meeting. And then they have to take care of the homeschooling. And then, so of course they forget about the water, because they know if they drink water, they're going to be peeing every 2 minutes.
Yeah,
For them, it's
but
like,
that's at the beginning, right?
at the beginning, it's really difficult for them to drink the water. And then that's where we come in. It's like, we're going to hold you accountable. we create a method for you where we have an app that is called the BFF app. And then we see every single thing about them. Like we see the steps, we see how much water they're drinking, if they're eating enough protein in the morning that you were mentioning about the breakfast.
Yeah.
So you should be eating at least 20 to 25 grams of protein in the morning. So everything is like you feel full for a longer period of time. Because yeah, like when you have, that is very common, like a very high carb breakfast, the cereal, the toast, the juice, the fruit, it is very common. So that causes that you are having cravings during the day, that you don't have energy and all of that.
Yes.
So we recommend at least 20 to 25 grams of protein in the morning. So we make sure like they check off that they did their breakfast, that they drink their water. So it's like we are, that's why it's BFF, because we are that friend that you need to talk about your health all day if you want. So we are there for you. When they go grocery shopping, Doucky, Kosar, can we eat this? Can we buy that? So we teach them, hey, read this about in the label, you should be aware of this and that. So it is like this education by doing that it results in a long-term lifestyle. So we don't teach any diet.
Yes.
It's just about little things that nobody has taught you, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this, you know. And then my clients has been, so they finish the program and they keep living the lifestyle because it's
So,
not a diet.
so you've been in touch with, I mean, have you traced clients that you had 2 years ago, let's say? Have you been in touch with them? Are they keeping up with the habits?
Yeah. So actually, we have an interview yesterday with one of them, and she's like, I finished the program and I know exactly the amount of food that I should be eating. So it's like something that you learn and you don't forget, because we make them to repeat it every single day, that then it comes natural. So it's not going to
And
be
then they feel,
part of
yeah,
it.
they feel,
When
yeah, it
they are
feels good, so I'm gonna repeat it. Yeah.
exactly, so when they are out of the, when they're not doing it, it's like when you don't brush your teeth in the morning. Exactly like that. It's
Mhm.
like something is
Mm.
weird here. Something is,
Something's wrong. Yeah.
maybe you were breastfeeding, maybe you're taking care of your kid, but you go back to it. You're like, hey, I have something to do that is pending. I need to go brush my teeth. So it is the same thing. They,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like they go on a trip, they go on an event on the weekends, like holidays, whatever, but they come back and they're like, no, I have to go back to my habits. You know, I have to go back to brush my teeth every single day.
To my comfort zone. Now this becomes the comfort, right?
Exactly.
Doing these things. Yeah. Um,
They don't feel right when they don't do it, so they keep doing it. And I have another mom text me yesterday too. She's like, oh my God, I'm in the same weight. I haven't gained 1 pound, and she's very busy. She has two kids, work full time, very demanding
yeah.
job. She lives in Miami, and she's like, I'm maintaining. You know, so that is what we want. We don't want them to depend on us forever. We are coaches,
Yes.
and we give you the tools so you can live a lifestyle, not a diet, you know?
Yes. Yes. What I found interesting is I see people losing weight, and they some lose it for a few months. 3 months later, they are back with even some more.
Yeah.
So that's sure they've been on a diet, on a restrictive something.
Yeah.
Some I'm more impressed, and they keep it off for like 2 years, but then it comes back. So I'm like, after 2 years, you must have discovered something, during those 2 years. How come it's coming back? Um, so sometimes, and then I wonder, what is it? Why
Yeah. So
do they?
I have found several reasons for it. One,
Mhm.
like the one that you said, like restrictive diets. People can be in restrictive diet like 6 months, even like 6 months to a year, like if they're like very like disciplined. It's not gonna last, right? Because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is I mean, for example, they're like the keto diet. I don't have any. I
I
don't
did
have
it.
anything against it. Like I don't have anything against any diet, because for me it's portion control. It's like whatever you want to do, but we have to portion control it, and you have to be in a caloric deficit. Otherwise, you're not gonna lose weight. You can eat whatever. You can be vegetarian, vegan, keto. You can do intermittent fasting. I don't mind, but you have to portion control it. I don't mind, like, because
Yeah,
people are looking for the right diet. The
yeah.
right
Does
diet is
not
whatever
exist.
you can sustain. whatever. Like I don't follow any diet. And then when I tell them, hey, you can, I have a client and she logs 2 Oreos every single day. And I have another client that she logs an ice cream every single day. And I tell them to do
That's
it because
fine.
I don't want them to feel restricted.
Yeah.
What happened with keto, that for people, some people are like, they maintain and they're amazing, but they're just restricting carbs
Carbs. Yeah.
a lot. And then what happens, women, we're hormonal, right? Like,
Yeah.
like when we got our period, suddenly we want wine and we want chocolate and we want all of that. So when you're in a keto diet, it's really difficult to maintain that. And then if you do it, you're going to be out of ketosis. And then all the
Yes.
work is gone. And then it's like very difficult to go. If you go to a birthday party, you cannot eat like a piece of cake. Like it is like,
Oh, I did it for a while, and I did it because I have some hormonal imbalances, and I heard it actually regulates hormones.
yeah,
I was trying to conceive again,
yeah.
and I told you I cannot do it. I tried I said I'm trying even keto, although I'm against diets, but I heard that it
Yeah,
regulates your
for very
hormones.
specific, situations, it is
Yeah, health
good.
reasons. Yeah,
But people nor are using it as a diet just for weight loss,
yeah,
So I don't feel that it's sustainable for people. I mean, like people like it. Um, Whatever you can sustain is good for me. I don't have anything, but my point is like restricting something for most of us is not a good thing. It can mess up your mind. And then the
yeah,
other reason is mindset, emotional problems. Like we forget about like the process of weight loss since you're not a robot. Okay, I can tell you have to drink this amount of water, you have to eat this amount of protein, carbs, and all of that, and you just go and do weight training 3 times a week and you run 20 miles and all of that sounds like okay, this is a plan. But like most this the coaching that we do, because we have one-on-one calls every single week with our clients to make sure that they are in the right track and how to help them with the struggles and celebrate their wins. That is not only the scale, it's like about like how do you feel, is your energy back better.
yes,
It is more about that, like just checking with them how they feel. And the number in the scale is like, as I told you, a byproduct. So we check with them every single week, and what we hear in the conversations, it doesn't have anything to be with weight loss. It's about how do they feel. So if emotionally they're not in the right mindset to do this, it is really difficult to get there. If they don't have like a big why, because sometimes people lose the why. They don't go through the process like the way we want because they don't have a reason. So that's why we pick working moms, because we know that their main reason is their kids.
yes,
Their kids are
yeah.
going to be there, and they know that it's not only about the number in the scale. They don't want to have the six packs. My clients don't need the six pack. They don't want the six pack. They're not going to be Victoria's Secret models. They just want to be
I
look.
want the six pack.
Yeah, always there is like in the vision board for all of us, right? Like someday I'm going to have the six pack. For me, for the longest time, it was like the
The crop, the crop
no,
circle.
learning English. It was like my in my vision
Ah,
board for so long. Finally, I learned how to speak English a little bit. The six pack all the time. I got the six pack, but then when I got the six pack, it wasn't that important anymore. It was like just more like about how disciplined can I get to do it, because you gotta like to have those six pack, you gotta be very disciplined. And usually working moms don't have
yeah,
that discipline to have the six pack. They just want to look good in that spring dress that you have in your closet hanging for a year or for 7 years. Because oh my God, before having kids, I uh, haven't worn that dress. I want to wear it. And then that is our goal, to fit into your old clothes.
let me talk to you about scale. We are so obsessed with the scale, and I was very obsessed with the scale. Getting on the scale every morning, looking at that number, and it will affect my mood for the day. How silly was that? Can you talk to that?
No, it is, yeah, it is not silly. Most of us suffer the scale fear. But in our coaching, we tell them sometimes hide the scale. We don't want you to see the number. At least for the, like depending on how triggering is for some people. Some people are like, I want to see the number and they just move on. They're like, no, I mean this number. So depending on the person, we tell them to weigh themselves or not. Sometimes it's like fluctuations during the is totally normal. So you can weigh 155 one day, 58, then you can go down, and it's totally normal because that depends on how late you ate the night before. That depends on how much water did you drink. That depends on what did you eat the night before. If it was heavy in carbs, it was heavy in protein. So it depends. If you didn't have a bowel movement in the morning, hormonal stuff. So it is like every day you're gonna have a different number. It is really weird if you have like the whole, that is a lie. You're gonna be changing. Fluctuations in the scale are really normal. In the coaching, we always tell them that is not the important thing here. Of course, they want to see that drop, and that drop, eventually that drops. But the most important thing is the measurement and the pictures. One, like if you're looking to look better, it's like the more important is like the progress pictures, and you're seeing our Instagram that we are always posting the before and after picture.
Before and after. Yeah, before and
after. In the picture, sometimes I have people who has lost 5 pounds, but they look like 25 and they cannot believe it. They're like, oh my God, I have lost only 5 pounds.
But because the scale does not show you when you build a muscle.
Yeah, and then, like the water retention, that happens a lot. For each gram of carbohydrate, you retain 4 grams of carbs. So depending on if you're bloated, what did you eat? You eat chickpeas the night before, that depends. But then the pictures is what matters, and measurements, how you fit, like if you are like 1 pound down, or size down, or 2 pound size down, depending on what your goal is. I think that is the most important thing. People want to see that scale drop. And then, they are in a bad mood every morning if they don't see what they want, because they're working hard, right? So they want a certain measurement, but it's really hard for them to take a picture. They don't want to see the reality, like they are with the number, it's there, but then we have to keep, hey, you gotta take a pic. It's really hard for them to see themselves. And I think that's why we want to normalize it. This is you, and you are beautiful because you decide to change. In that process, that transformation, your body is amazing. Look at how your body's changing, and you have to love your body in every step of the process. You have to love it, because then when you get to the point that you want it to be, you're like, oh my God, I was there, and I could make it happen.
So over the years, I thought about weight loss, and I so much, as I was telling you, and to the point that you're making, love your body in the process. To me, after so many years, it comes down to this. It's about loving your body. It's about love. If you look at yourself and you hate what you see, somehow those, that belly or those thick thighs are going to stick around. If you look at your body with compassion and love, and keep in mind your ideal body, but also with love, and thinking, okay, but I deserve that. I can be that. Why not? Then is what is the reason to hold on to the extra weight if you can be that? But sometimes
they feel it's impossible, like they see it, as I told you, it's like, oh my God, it's so difficult to get there. So
sometimes I wonder if weight is not a symptom of some I don't know, some other relationship, a reflection of a relationship with ourselves, with rejecting ourselves in some ways. We believe we don't deserve to be really happy, or to have exactly what makes us happy, and then we hold on to this weight. We are resistant to changing habits. So sometimes I wonder if weight is not, and I think it is a signal that somehow we feel undeserving of being our best, of accomplishing our dreams. Maybe we find excuses. Um, I don't know. I did a lot of work this year with this guy, Abel, who made me understand for the first time that what love really means. Just pure love. When I talk to him, he is the embodiment, like nobody else I've talked to, embodiment of love for the other. And he made me understand love for myself, like I've never understood before. And then all of a sudden, I started to having these thoughts about my weight. Like, why do I need this? I don't need this. If I um, if I think my essence is good and loving, I really don't need this extra luggage. Of course, you need to know all these things that you are teaching. Like, it took me years to stumble upon the fact, that eating carbs makes me foggy, and it goes directly to my brain. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, instantaneously, I can see the effects of carbs. But then for the long term, like why people I find cannot sustain in the long term the habits is this self-image that makes them feel undeserving and uh, forget that love, pure love for themselves, and they start holding on to those negative feelings, and then it shows in the weight. That's my after years of thinking about this and struggle and trying this and that. I, for example, my issue is I've always been skinny or slim, but I've always had this muffin top, which on my belly, which drove me crazy and made me feel like I don't look good. And I don't want to go to the beach, as you're saying, although I was slim, but I just had this belly. Yeah. And even if I've discovered what carbs can do to my belly, I still, that is the first thing I check. And yes,
very
and if
common, very common.
If you check that, it's gonna be there because that's what you put your attention on. But if you look at even a picture of how you want to look, or a mental picture of not with that.
Yeah, like the belly fat is even genetics. Some people cannot have like a flat.
But you can change. I think it can be changed.
Yeah, the genetics, they're like people like genetically cannot have like a flat belly. You gotta be like in a super calorie deficit, as I did, because I always have the belly. I was like skinny, but I always have like a belly.
Yeah.
It was like I just ate. It was like 3-month pregnant belly, right?
Yes, the same.
Yeah. I was like, I'm never gonna get rid of this. I did, but you gotta be like like as I told you gotta be like in a calorie deficit, super, like you have to be eating very little just to be like super fat, so the muscles come out, like the six-pack come out, the muscles come out. You can maintain it later. I've been doing it, but it's not for everyone, right? It's not for everyone. So that's why we find like other type of goals, because that can mess up your mind, and like the thing that you are saying, like, like people don't love themselves. Yeah, like they talk about them really badly. So I told them, you have to talk to yourself like you're your best friend. You could never tell your best friend, oh my God, look at those thighs. Oh my God, look at the cellulite. You're so fat. You could never talk to your best friend like that. So why do you talk to you like that? Because I see it all the time when we see the pictures. They are like, oh my God, no, I'm so fat. I'm so ugly. Oh my God, don't look at that. It's like you have to talk to yourself. That is like the first step, to talk to yourself with love.
Your essence is love, and your friend sees your essence, doesn't see your
Yeah, and also
Your friend doesn't care a few extra pounds. Your friend cares about your warmth and love in your
heart.
heart.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that's what if we can only see our essence, ourselves will be so much kinder. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think I believe in the weight loss in the perspective of health. When you just like you are in the obesity number, that is going to affect, you're going to start taking medications, you cannot be there for your kids. I feel like that is when you have to take action, when things are getting out of control, for sure, and that you feel all right, because you have also the right to feel sexy and confident again. I feel that people have fear, like fear stops you from starting because you have fear of failing again. Because you have
Yes.
tried many things. Like I have clients that have tried Weight Watchers, Noom, Jenny Craig, keto, soup diet, oats diet, all of that. And they're like, Doucky, I don't know if I should.
But that's so impersonal. But having you talking them through all this, a real person and empathizing with them, I guess it makes the whole difference, right?
It makes a difference. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just saw that, like it is okay to be scared of failing again. But when you build the habits and you become that person, it's like I always said, you have to describe yourself. I'm a healthy person, and you have to fake it until you make it. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you feel unhealthy, like if you're a healthy person, you're like, no, like if I'm a healthy person, I don't eat certain foods in, like a lot of that type of food. Or a healthy person don't drink every single day. A healthy person move more. So when you identified as
Yes.
yourself as a healthy person, you're not gonna do certain things. It's like when you quit smoking, you're not gonna say, no, I'm trying to quit smoking. No, you're gonna say like, I'm not a smoker. So when you're not a smoker, you're not trying anything.
You are,
you
yeah.
are non-smoker. So you're not gonna even try, or you're gonna try for a few months. So I think it's like that definition of yourself and recognizing yourself as the person that you want to be is really easy for you to get there. So that's why
Yes.
we work a lot with mindset and self-love and all the non-scale victories. For us, it's about, fitting into your old clothes. You feel great. I don't care what size it is. I don't care about that. Having energy, like a client, she lives in Chile because we work with, moms around the world. She's like, I can't believe my kids were so happy because I was playing football with them. Never before she was like sitting down in the bench. It's like, okay, go play in the park. And two
She was
boys
exhausted, right? Yeah. Exhausted.
in Chile. So imagine how, like how hard it is for her with two boys, and she comes home after working, COVID
Exhausted.
season, and now she has that energy to walk with them, to play football, to run around them. The kids are happy. So those are non-scale victory. Why? Because you
Yes.
feel lighter. You have energy because you're eating the foods that are right for you. So of course, when we are in Instagram, we sell, it's like you want to lose the weight because people want to hear that. But then when they're in the program, we teach them all these new lifestyle that are gonna take those weight, those numbers in the scale, they're gonna drop, but then you're gonna keep it down and you're gonna live the best life that you can.
So basically, you change lives for families, right? But do you find like if people succeed in this, they see, okay, I can do this. Then what else can they do? I think it's a tremendous motivator. You walk them through these steps about weight, but then you give them the confidence that they can follow other steps in other areas of their
Yeah,
lives
like
and change it, right?
last year we did an obstacle race together, all the group. We did an obstacle race. So people who are like, oh my God, before my 40s, I'm going to do an obstacle race. Before, they never thought like running like
It is possible.
5K or hanging in those things in the obstacle race. And they wanted to do for the kids. They're like, I want my kids to see me how strong I am, how fast I am. So that is really powerful. It is not
Yeah.
anymore about how you look. Like that is that is the thing that you see. Oh my God, I need to lose weight. But
Yeah.
behind that, There are many things that you are carrying with you. I cannot play with my kids. I cannot run a race, an obstacle race. I'm not strong enough. I cannot, do anything else. I don't feel sexy. It's like many stuff behind you. But with only that, if you can only just lose weight and do whatever you want. So just imagine, like, if you lose 15 pounds, what would you do? And you're gonna see how people are gonna tell you all the things that they would do just because they lose the 15 pounds.
Yeah,
How
exactly. Yeah,
would they feel?
their life was
Yeah, they're
transformed,
right.
right?
And now they are
Let me,
telling their family members, like they're like, no, I know now, so I'm gonna teach
you
you,
have to, yeah.
and I'm gonna teach you. And we love that.
Yeah, that's what I do with my husband. Like when I discovered the thing about breakfast, I was, you have to do it, like to ditch whatever he was eating, a cinnamon roll or something. No, that's why you need so much coffee. That's why, like, no. I wanted to talk to you about something else because we were talking about hormones and hormone balance. And I was listening to this podcast recently, and we talked so much about eating healthy and eating the right thing. And this girl was talking about birth control pills. And we are so careful in choosing our foods, but many moms, as you know, and many women take birth control. And that is synthetic hormones that we put in our bodies. And that has to affect our mood. This girl was talking about affecting her weight and her mood. I quit birth control 15 years ago, and I could relate to some of what she was saying. Some others I could not remember. But she said she was put on birth control when she was 17 for acne, which I don't know. It seems to me like doctors prescribe this a little bit too loosely because synthetic hormones in your body, they have to have an effect on you. And she was saying that she noticed mood swings, and with that, the need to eat more. And she noticed that during the week when she was taking the sugar pill, she noticed the withdrawal symptoms, and she did some more research online, and she decided to just quit cold turkey. My experience, oh, and she said her moods were regulated, and she was able to get her weight under control. My experience, as I remember, I had, after I quit, I don't know why, I decided one day something was wrong, and I just decided to not take them anymore. I couldn't pinpoint why. I just felt I needed to. And I remember I experienced withdrawal syndrome symptoms. I was very horny for a while. I want that balanced out.
Well, you have
So that's not that bad. But also, I felt like something has lifted of my brain and of my body. And then actually my sex drive has changed after I quit birth control. And I find maybe as women, this is not discussed enough. The doctors don't talk about that. And maybe we should research
doctors
for ourselves,
prescribe
like
medications. Okay, they don't work in the prevention. They don't work on the prevention because they haven't been taught about prevention and all of that. So they, like they don't see enough nutrition. That is sadly, hopefully that's going to change. But they don't work in prevention. They just go to the doctor and they tell you, okay, I have
pop
this.
some pills.
Yeah, go to,
Pop
that's
some
the
pills.
no. Also because prevention, it is such a long term
Process. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Nobody has the time. Yeah. The doctor
You go
spends
to the
5 minutes with
appointment
you.
and then it's like, well,
Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah.
they tell you have to lose weight, and meanwhile, this is a medication to control your system, so your symptoms. That is like a band-aid, right? That's what they can do. But yeah, like the birth control is a thing. I don't take it either, and it's because they control, like the pills control your hormones, basically
Yes.
balancing. But then when you discover that through food and exercise, you can do the same. I'm not saying that only with that you're not going to have babies, because you're going to have babies. But for hormonal imbalance like acne, that is hormonal imbalances. PCOS, that is hormonal imbalances. Some people lose their periods because they're eating just a little bit. So when you control their food intake, their period is back. But the doctor just give you a pill to have your period back, but it's not a real period. So it's like many things that you can totally control with food and exercise for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully
And
we're gonna
and
learn.
also, yeah, herbal supplements. I've been working with this holistic doctor for more than a year, and it's tremendous what you can do without synthetic medication. But definitely, birth control affects a lot of moms, a lot of women, and their
And
moods.
the gain weight, you don't gain weight because of the birth control. You gain weight because your hormones are crazy. So it's very similar to what
Imbalance.
happened. So you get more hungry, you get hungrier, so you eat more because of the mood swings, right?
Yes,
Same thing
yes,
with menopause. People are like, no, I gain weight because of the no. You gain weight because you eat more. Like
yeah,
there is no
yes,
way, but
yeah.
yeah, of course, like the emotional situation where you are, like, yeah, that's gonna make you eat more or less. That impact on your weight.
Also, sleep affects. This has been a struggle of mine. Proper sleep, and it affects hormones and calorie intake.
Yeah.
How do you? What is your advice?
Yes. So we ask to our besties, we call them besties, our clients. We ask them to sleep at least 7 hours. It is a very common issue. It is impressive. What happens is that as you are a working mom, right? Like you wake up really early to get your kids ready, especially if you have a baby or now that you're homeschooling. So you got to have everything ready before the craziness starts, right? So you wake up really early, you work, you have meetings. Some of them are working out with us, so you get your workout done, you can take a shower, blah, blah, blah. Then at 8 p.m., you put the kids to bed. And after that, you have like another additional shift. Is when you clean, is when you cook, is when you do work because sometimes they cannot catch up. So they have to start catching up on work. They have to do shopping, grocery shopping online. So when they realize it's like 1, 2 a.m. in the morning, and then they just go sleep. If they're like sleep training, they go to sleep, but they have very difficult time to sleep because the kids are coming, they're crying. So what happens when you wake up? You are looking for energy. You don't
Yeah,
have energy. You are done. So you drink a lot of coffee. You look for more
carbs.
food, carbs to boost your energy. And is your body looking for energy because you are like, oh my God, what is this? And then it's when you overeat and your cortisol levels are really up. And then, that's what happened. You gain weight. So we have them in a schedule, little by little. I have a client, she was sleeping every day at 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. And now she's sleeping at 1. So we, little by little, we start like, okay, so you're sleeping at 4:30, let's go for 4. She goes for
Mm-hmm.
4 and then so on. And now she's sleeping at 1 a.m. And she's like, I never thought I could get into this because then sometimes they have the time to go to sleep, but all the schedule is changed. So they are like this in the bed and they don't
Yeah.
sleep. So we little by little change that too. We set the goals every single week. Everyone is different. Some people are like, no, when I put my kids to bed, I just go sleep and they sleep and then they're good. But it's very common because there's so much going on. Those brains are always thinking about
Working. Yeah.
oh yeah, like how to solve the issue. Like my kid is not doing well in math. My other kid is not eating, constipated, and then I have to buy this, I have to buy that, and it's so renovations or whatever. So plus
The
work.
cat, the dog, the.
Don't tell me I have now 2 cats and a fish. Crazy. I'm a crazy
And you
person.
had a gecko too. I know you had a gecko
Oh
for a
my God.
while.
Like we had geckos, we have fish, we have 2 cats
Yeah.
now.
I have just
Yeah,
one dog, but between chiropractic for the dog and vaccination and the daughter,
it's
this
another
and that,
baby.
like,
It's another
yeah,
baby. Yeah, another baby.
that, it is,
Cats
yeah.
are cats are easier because they do their own thing. But yeah, like our moms have too much on their plate. So we help them to kind of establish what is important. And then when we are out of that, like for 2 days, we come in, hey, how are we doing? And they're like, okay, I'm gonna take my supplements at night. I'm going to do this because we are seeing everything that they're doing. So we are like kind of
Mhm.
like, nobody, like it's sad, but nobody take care of the moms. Moms are taking care
Yeah.
of everyone.
Yes, yes,
Everyone, like they're like making sure that everything is moving smoothly, and then who take care of the moms?
yeah,
Nobody. So they have to take care of themselves, but then we help them in the way to, hey, you are the priority, you gotta do this. If you are not happy, your family is not happy, nothing is gonna work. If you're in a bad mood, this is
yeah.
not gonna work. So yeah, that's what we do. And
I have to share with you and the moms who are listening. I discovered this from my acupuncturist this year. It's been a year of transformation for some
that's
for,
awesome.
for so many aspects of our lives. So I was doing acupuncture last year until I started last year until March, and then it stopped. But while I was doing that, so I have pain in my knees because of too much running. And I did physiotherapy and all kinds of stuff. And my holistic doctor kept telling me is also emotional. It's how we store our emotions and our stress. It's maybe an area where I store my stress. But anyways, nothing was working until I discovered these magical things that my acupuncturist introduced me to. I'm not affiliated in any way with the company or the stuff, but for me, it was a game changer. And probably for so many people that work out, could be so helpful. There are these devices that, so they look like this. They have claws. These are the small ones, but there are bigger ones that are bigger with more claws. And you do like a massage on your body, different areas, yeah, even on your head, like on your face. And I can tell you, I've seen. So my acupuncturist recommended for my pains, but I can see from a cosmetical point of view, like the cellulite is improving. My skin is tighter because last year I thought I won't be able to wear shorts this year. I said those days are gone. My skin is kind of hanging a little bit, and probably this year I'll be done. But because these little things, they have a book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the website. It's called Ashley Black, I think is the name of the woman, and these are fascia blasters. So this fascia is a thin. When you cut open a chicken and you see or I don't know, an animal, and you see the case in which your muscles are, the white thing that envelop our
Yeah.
muscles.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fascia. And apparently that is responsible for a lot of the pain in our body, for the circulation. And I did not read the book, but I can tell you I've seen the
Like
results.
you're a pro now on that.
As I swear by it, like my skin is so much smoother. Is the cellulite has improved. My face also, I'm a certain age, and it started, a little bit. But this like just helps lifting up and improving, and it feels so good.
Yeah, and especially I
Uh,
guess that you have been consistent doing it, right?
yes, you have to be
You
consistent,
have
yeah.
to like everything is
And it's like a deep tissue massage. it's amazing. And you bruise because it feels good, and you start doing it, and it's a little bit painful, but not too much. It's like a good pain, but actually they tell you like be very careful, do it very, be very soft. But I was like, oh, feels so good. So the first time I did it, 2 days later, I went to Sojo Spa, and I looked like a cheetah with spots, like black spots. And of course, that day there were 3 moms from our school. Like they were looking, and I was with my husband. Probably I don't know what they were thinking of my husband. I don't want to know. But I was looking like ugly, ugly. So now I became better at it, but it helps so much with the pain in my knees, and even aesthetically. Like if you lose weight and you see that your skin is kind of hanging, you can try. I'm gonna put the link in there. As I said, I'm not affiliated in any ways, but I think it could be
For you. Yeah, it works.
yeah, a good tool for other people. I don't know. Another thing that I discovered also from my acupuncturist is dry brushing. I don't know
Oh
if you're
yeah,
familiar.
yeah.
Yeah, you doing it?
So sometimes I am very bad about that, but yeah, like I have heard, I mean, like I've been doing research and I have my dry brush, like to clean your dead cells. It's
Yes.
really important. Yeah, really important.
I do it every morning now. At the beginning, and it's so easy and takes 2 minutes. But as you said, it's a new habit
It's a
that you
new
have to
habit.
implement.
Yes, definitely.
And for like a week or two, I was looking at the diagram. So how do I do it? It was more the resistance in my brain, like seriously. But she was holding me accountable. She kept asking me, "Did you
You
do it?
do
Did
it.
you do
You
it?"
do it. That is
And
like
then I figured it
accountability works
out.
for everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it out, and then it's like takes 2 minutes. I mean, and it feels awesome. But it might work only for people with very dry skin. I'm not sure because I tried to get
Well,
my
in
husband on
winter,
it.
in winter, if you live here in the East Coast, in winter,
Oh yeah,
everyone has like
yes,
dry skin.
dry skin. Yeah,
Soon.
yeah, yeah. So that is yeah. So tell me, what did you discover during this crazy time in quarantine? Because for example, what I discovered, working out really helped regulating my mood. Did you find that with your moms, with the moms you're working, like you really helped them get
Yes,
over this
100%.
crazy
We
hump?
immediately, when the quarantine came to our city, we created a program that it was called BFF to the Rescue. The BFF to the Rescue was like, we know that you're overwhelmed. You don't know what is going to be next for us. You don't know when you're gonna leave the house. Your kids are on top of you, work and all of that. You gotta find a time for you. And we did like this program. We launched it like just a couple of times, and then our moms come to work out with us every night at 8:30 p.m. after the kids were in bed. So they come to work out with us virtual classes. We teach Zumba, weight training, and HIIT. So just 30 minutes because you don't need to work out like for an hour. So it was like 30 minutes, and it was like just hanging out with friends in a Zoom class, everyone there, just making jokes, dancing, and having a good time. And that really helped them to escape from the reality that we were put, like without wanting it, right? So it was
But
like
it's
that.
also the dopamine or the good hormones that you release when you exercise, right?
Yeah, the happy hormones. We call them happy
Yeah,
hormones. So
exactly. Yeah,
they were like, no, they were looking forward to 8:30 p.m. because they knew that it was their only time. Because of no, you know that you have to go work out, but then it's like, when do I find the time? But then when you know that a group of people are waiting for you there, and you don't have to
yes,
think about what I'm going to do for the workout. It's like, we're gonna tell you what to do. They just show up. It's like you show up in your pajamas. So the cool thing, it was like some of the kids, because they didn't have activities that before, they had like more energy.
yeah.
So they didn't
They're
want to
not
go to
asleep.
bed. They didn't
Yeah,
want to
they're
go
not
to bed. And
asleep.
then the moms were like, so they bring the kids. They brought the kids, and it was just a family workout. So I saw, like, actually now we still have some of the kids that they're like, no, I want to go to class. They're like, what are you talking about? You go with the class, I'm not gonna. So the moms are paying for the kids. Yeah, so they are working with the moms. They fell in love with heat training and weight training. The kids, they had so much fun because we started like using household items, like let's use a towel, let's use a stair, let's use a bottle of water. So it was like really fun. I think to introduce them to exercise routine, and also for the mom, we're like, well, it's an additional activity. We get them tired, and then everyone goes to bed.
So bad, yeah.
So definitely exercise, even for us, Kausar and I, like the coaches were like, we need to step up in our routine to be in a right mindset to help our clients because it was emotionally too much for us. And
Yeah.
so we were like, if we are like that, imagine how our clients are. So we launched BFF to the rescue like a couple of times at the beginning in spring.
So you helped families to go through, I mean, you helped yourself and the families. Like, what a wonderful way, right? To help your community and be part of the lifting up your community. I mean,
Totally. We needed moms, happier moms on those difficult times because the way that you react to those stressful situations as like a pandemic, your kids are gonna see how you react to a stressful situation. So you gotta be a role model again. It's like all the way it comes to,
to the
to
mom,
you, yeah, to the
to the
mom. So
parent. Yeah.
the way you react to those situations, your kids are gonna react to the situation. So, and how beautiful way is that you react to those stressful situations, like working out, finding your space. Like we did meditation, yoga, heat training. We brought specialists to some panel. So every week they have a new like expert in some topic, like how to reorganize your place for the new way of living that we have, like the homeschooling and all of that. We brought a meditation, we brought the yoga expert. So it was really good. Like we brought mindful eating, emotional eating expert because people started eating more, because
Yeah.
drinking more as well. So we gave them the tools to, it's like, hey, we know that you have all of this, just take it and let's work on it. Like just let's don't disregard the feelings that you're having right now. Let's just like channel all of this.
In this crazy time, in this pandemic, another silver lining that I discovered recently. In my previous interview, I talked to this amazing doula. She's working here in Jersey City, and I've met her when I was pregnant, and she was telling me such an interesting thing. Since mom started working from home, it was so much better for their level of stress during pregnancy that she saw less premature births. Yes, less premature births, and plus the level of comfort for moms had increased because the dads are at home as well, and they can just be there to hold the baby while they can go and take a shower, or I don't know, go to the bathroom, whereas before they were, we were by ourselves many times. So no matter how this was a trying time for us, but it also pushed us to find I don't know, good things.
Good thing.
And
Like I'm less stressed because I don't have to go to teach class at night. I don't have to take care, like take my kid, do all her 100 activities that she has during the day, plus coming home, do dinner, and then sit down again with a client that is in Australia. Like it was
yeah.
like my life was very stressful before, and I'm so happy with this new lifestyle. I don't have to wake up. I mean, I wake up really early, as you see in my Instagram, to work with my
Yeah.
clients, but I don't have to leave the house because before I have to wake up 4:45 a.m. and leave my house in the dark on winter is not a fun thing to do. So I have to do that to go train my clients. But now I'm in the comfort of my house. I have to wake up early, not that early, and then I just go to the living room to work. And then I'm here when my daughter is up. Sometimes I could be, so I finish I could see my daughter like at 7 p.m. and then I could see her again at 3 p.m. next day because I work at night and I work in the morning. So my
Yeah,
husband was with her at night in the morning, taking her to school. So for me, next time was seeing her at 3 p.m. So I miss her so
understand.
much. I miss her so
Mm.
much. And now I can see her all the time. So I'm very grateful for this time together.
I think we discovered more and more how this was a blessing in disguise. Because I'm sure your clients also they feel, why did I go to the gym so early instead of being in the comfort of my home too and seeing my husband or my daughter immediately or my child immediately after, and make the breakfast instead of coming back from the gym or I don't know.
And at the beginning, it
So
was a little bit of resistance from some of my clients. They were like, "That is not going. How is that going to work? Like, how you're going to train me online? Like, they didn't get it, right?" And then it's like I had some time training some other people online. I'm like, you just try. Let's try some sessions. And they were like in love with the process. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Some of them moved to the suburbs. So they're like, I'm so thankful that we did this online because I had already plans to move to the suburbs and I was going to fire you basically. So it's good that now we can keep
yeah,
working together so they can, keep with the program while they're abroad,
yeah,
like in another place. So it has been a great
yeah,
story for everyone.
yeah. Do you advise your clients to meditate regularly?
Yeah, so it's really difficult for them because most of most is like, like those that time, I can be using for something else. So we recommend, yeah, it's like, oh, but they see it as a waste of time, right? Like it's like, oh, I really want to meditate, but I cannot stay put. Again, like they're thinking about all the things. Oh my God, I have to do, I have to cook, I have to do all of this. So we recommend some apps, like they feel that it's a guided meditation. It's not like the real
Yeah.
meditation, but at least it's like a time for themselves. And if
Mm.
they cannot do it, we help them with some breathing techniques through the day. So if you cannot stop and do it through the day, we give them some cues to improve their breathing. Because when you're breathing like this,
Yeah.
you're stressed out. So it's like, hey, just pause for a second, just take a few breaths and continue. We also recommend journaling. And actually, every morning they have to text us the three things they're grateful for. So we practice gratitude as well. Whatever it could be, like I could have my cup of coffee in peace this morning.
Mm.
Whatever. Like I saw the sunset last night, or whatever you feel that you are grateful, because that makes you change your mindset into positive stuff instead of all the negative stuff. If you start seeing negative
Yes.
things, you're gonna see negative things everywhere. In the morning, it's like, oh my God, that makes you smile. That give you, like positive thoughts. And
And one positive thing leads to another positive thing, and your day goes beautifully, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
we want
And
them
one
to
beautiful day goes to a
beautiful
beautiful
week.
another one and a beautiful week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And we want them to teach that to the kids too, like how to be grateful and how to practice gratitude, journaling, and these kind of little things. Just little things, as I told you, little things that make your day.
Well, we covered a lot, and it's really so. What you are guys teaching is a whole life approach. Is not just a weight loss.
It's not a weight loss.
Uh, as you were saying, is just a weight loss is just a byproduct. So it's so wonderful what you're doing, and you helped your community in this difficult time. And we are grateful to you and Kosar for what you've done. And I enjoyed so much watching following you on Instagram. And I urge everyone to follow you on Instagram and get inspiration. You also have a green unicorn, right?
Yeah, it's my personal now.
Yeah, I'll urge everyone to go to those links. Thank you so much for today.
No, thank you, Daniela. It was so much fun.